Loaded show today on Golden State Warriors Today by Chat Sports. It's Kevon Looney. He's talking about a potential new role he has on this Golden State Warriors roster. Then we'll dive into whether or not a Jarrett Allen trade raises the ceiling of this Golden State Warriors team and how it might go down. And then to close out today's show, Stephen Curry. He had a couple of comments for the doubters of the Golden State Warriors that really fired me up. We'll dive into all of this and much more. But before we do, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up icon on today's video. Guys, we're less than like a month away from Warriors basketball returning. So if you're excited for GSW Hoops to return, if you're dying for Steph Curry to be back on the basketball court playing real NBA action, hit that thumbs up icon and we'll get started with today's show. Kevon Looney, the floor spacer? Yeah, I know. That's what we're talking about on today's edition of Warrior Today by Chat Sports. I am Tyler Smith, and Kevon Looney looks like he's preparing this upcoming season for a new role. He says it's time to extend his range and take more threes this season. Here's what he had to say to Scoop B about what he thinks his role is going to be on the Golden State Warriors in 24-25. He said, it's something that I've been practicing for years, but now it's time for me to shoot threes, shoot more mid-ranges. Steve wanted me to improve in that area, so I've been shooting a lot of shots and feeling good about my game, and so it's going to be a lot of surprises next year. Looney went on to say, he's going to shoot the ball a lot more. I'm not sure that I am necessarily in a camp that is encouraging this, to be quite honest with you, because as far as what Looney has done in the jump shooting department in his career, oh my goodness. Each of the last 3 seasons, he's only taken 1 3. He's missed all 3 of them. And then for some reason in 2021, he had this 17 three-point attempt green light. He only made 4 of those. And then in 2020, he made 1 of his 14 attempts. 2019, 1 of 10. A career 10 for 63-point shooter. I'm not entirely encouraged that this guy is going to be on this Warriors roster this year and positively impact their outside shooting. And with Klay Thompson leaving the Golden State Warriors this past year, the Warriors have a void with outside shooting. They need everybody on this roster to be able to extend their range and space the floor. But I'm not so sure Kevon Looney is going to be able to do that. Now, what Kevon Looney's probably trying to do here is raise his stock as a guy who's with just 1 year left on his contract. For the last couple of years, really hasn't shown you too much as far as being a player that is irreplaceable. As far as Kevon Looney's season last year, it's a huge regression from what he did in 22-23, and that has to do with an increased role for rookie Trayce Jackson-Davis that came about last season. This guy is averaging 4.5 points and 6 boards a game. This is a replacement level player, so now he's trying to extend his range and be in the camp of, I'm going to take more jump shots so I can be a part of this Golden State Warriors roster for the foreseeable future. Because with what his contract looks like this year, it's $8 million guaranteed. And Golden State, back in late June, when they were trying to facilitate a Paul George sign and trade, when they went on and tried to pursue a Lauri Markkanen trade later this summer, it really was because they wanted to guarantee Kevon Looney's salary in order to put him in one of those deals, in order to match salaries to gain a big swing player like a Paul George or a Lauri Markkanen. And now he's trying to basically transform his game in year 10 for probably a little bit more security for the rest of his NBA career. But I don't really want to see a huge expanded role for Kevon Looney. I think we know what Kevon Looney is at this point. I'm trying to see a massive jump for this guy in both the production and responsibility departments. I think Trayce Jackson-Davis deserves to be the starting center over Kevon Looney if Steve Kerr wants to go big. I think Trayce Jackson-Davis deserves more minutes than Kevon Looney. I think he deserves more offensive looks than Kevon Looney. So overall, I'm not really in the camp of anybody that cares for Kevon Looney to be shooting threes this season. 1, I don't think it's going to be successful. And 2, I really don't think it's ever really going to happen. I don't think there's going to be scenarios game by game where Kevon Looney is taking 2 or 3 three-pointers a night. Maybe he takes the most in his career this year, but I'm not necessarily saying that's going to impact him in this rotation or positively impact him at all, as he's not a good three-point shooter. I don't know how you just decide to become a three-point shooter in year 10 of your career. You're not Brook Lopez. So we'll see what happens with Kevon Looney, but I want to hear from you guys. Will he be in the Golden State Warriors rotation this season? Does he fall out? Does Steve Kerr give more responsibility to Trayce Jackson-Davis? Seems like he's grown very fond of TJD throughout his rookie season and into this summer, playing with Team USA Select and the Warriors Summer League team. So let me know. Does Kevon Looney find a spot in the Warriors rotation next season? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Next up, trading for Jarrett Allen. I know we've talked about this a ton on the channel, but it's been apparent that the Warriors need size. And could the Warriors' ceiling be raised? Could they be closer to an NBA championship by acquiring Jarrett Allen, who was just an all-star 2 seasons ago. We're going to dive into all that in just a moment. But I got to give a huge shout-out to today's sponsor, and that is Prize Picks. Prize Picks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with over 5 million active members. And when you deposit $5 and play a lineup of $5, you get $50 instantly with Prize Picks. It's the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Unlike other apps on Prize Picks, it's just you against the numbers. Here's how it works. All you guys got to do is pick a lineup of 2 to 6 players, and then just choose more or less on each player's stat projections, and you can watch the winnings roll in. As far as the month of September goes, each time Caleb Williams goes out there and plays football, if he gets 1 passing yard, that gets you 1 win on Prize Picks every week in September. That's right, only 1 yard gets an automatic win every football weekend in September. 4 weeks of free dubs. Don't miss this deal on Prize Picks because it's gone when September ends. Now, I had a really lucrative Prize Picks that hit last night in the 49ers game. I decided to go live. Prize Picks, you're able to take these entries in the second half of games. So that's what I did. I said, Jordan Mason, he got screwed out of not getting a touchdown in that first half. I'm taking Jordan Mason or Breece Hall, who had a touchdown in that first half, to get in the paint in half number 2. And then I said, you know what? Niners are up. They're going to be running the football a ton. I don't think Brock Purdy's going to be making a ton of big throws or throwing that ball in the end zone. So give me the less on his 7.5 fantasy score. I made $150 on this Prize Picks, and you can too. Fade my picks, tail my picks, does not matter. Just go do it at Prize Picks. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code CLNS and get $50 instantly when you play 5. That's code CLNS on Prize Picks to get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks. Run your game. Now, I know, we've talked about this a ton of times already on the channel, and he's really a guy who, in my opinion, would solve a lot of the Warriors' issues on the interior, and that's Jarrett Allen. The Warriors lack rim protection. They lack legitimate size. We know Draymond Green's a good interior defender, but he's 6'7". We know Trayce Jackson-Davis is a good rim protector, but he's only 6'9". Jarrett Allen is legitimate size, and there are rumors that have come out via Mark Stein that say that the Cavs could be willing to part with him. It's believed that Allen was essentially obligated to sign the deal before August 6th. He signed a 3-year, $91 million extension with the Cleveland Cavaliers as a condition of Cleveland extending him at the maximum amount allowed based on the 26-year-old's current contract. Allen thus becomes eligible to be traded on February 2nd, 2025, 4 days before next season's deadline. Rest assured that the Cavaliers' proverbial phone will continue to ring with Allen interest. Now, as far as what Cleveland's big picture, what they're looking to do here, as far as their front court goes, according to Mark Stein, they apparently don't want to keep this Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen duo together much longer. It doesn't seem to be in their long-term plans. They seem to be going in the direction of Evan Mobley, and that makes Jarrett Allen expendable. And for a guy who you're getting 16 and 10 a night from on a nightly basis, I mean, his numbers last year were identical to those that he put up in 2019-20. And Jarrett Allen is just one of these guys where, you know, he can affect shots at the rim better than a lot of players in today's NBA due to his long wingspan, due to his ability to jump up there. He's a great athlete. So this is a guy who I think could really positively impact Golden State's roster. But what would it take? GiveMeSport, they decided to throw a trade proposal together when they heard these quotes from Mark Stein. And it's a lot, in my opinion, for Golden State to be sending out to acquire Jarrett Allen. They get Jarrett Allen, the former all-star center, heading to the Bay Area. And the Cavs, they receive Kyle Anderson, who we know is not eligible to be traded until December, as he did sign this offseason. But Jarrett Allen's not eligible to be traded until February. So this would be a deadline deal. Make sure you understand that. This would be a deadline deal. And the Warriors also give up Kevon Looney, who, hey, maybe the Cavs could use some more of his extended range that he's bringing apart this season. And then Moses Moody is also involved in the deal, along with 2025 and 2027 first-round picks. So what say you? Would you guys make this trade? It's a lot going out to Cleveland in order to just get Jarrett Allen, who, in my opinion, might not produce the most offensively as far as a shot creator goes. So let me know what you think. A for accept, D for decline. Would you make this trade or not? In my opinion, if you take out just one of those first-round picks, preferably probably the 2027 one, I'll think about it. Because, yeah, you're giving up a lot in this deal, especially a guy in Kyle Anderson who you're trying to give Draymond Green a little bit of rest with. You're trying to kind of keep the lineup working seamlessly by just plugging and playing Kyle Anderson and taking out Draymond Green. And then a guy like Moses Moody, who has been the sacrificial lamb of the Warriors rotation over the past couple of years, we don't know what he really could be. So you're kind of sending a player who has untapped potential over to Cleveland as well, and this could blow up in your face. So take out one of these picks here, 25 or 27 first-round pick, and I would actually think about it because I do think that Golden State really needs to address the interior of their defense this season. And last, before we get out of here, I just wanted to show some love to our guy Steph. He had some comments for the doubters of the Golden State Warriors for this upcoming season, and boy, Steph fired me up with what he had to say right here. He said, "I love the fact that people don't think we can keep the pace with some of the other teams that they're picking in the West. And I just love that challenge of stepping into training camp and being able to create your own success. That gets me going. And obviously, coming off of this Olympic experience, I'm trying to channel that energy all year long." I love this. I love this energy from Steph Curry, ready to silence the doubters, ready to, dating back to when this guy was about to be drafted, he was doubted. And now, 15 years into his NBA career, he's doubted again. And Stephen Curry, we know, is still playing at a top 5 MVP-like level. Dating back to this past season, 4 seasons ago, he was absolutely dominant, the league's leading scorer with 32 points a night, and I think he could actually return to that form this season. I mean, look what he did against France in the gold medal game, and as well as Serbia in the game prior. 60 points, 7 dimes in his last 2 Olympic games, and the efficiency that he was shooting with. I mean, Steph was unconscious in Paris. If he can do anything that replicates that this season, the Warriors are going to be in good shape. And that's why I think that Steph could have the biggest year of his career since that 2021 season, where he averaged 32 points a night, where he was in the MVP conversation all year long. I think that's going to be the case again this year. I think the Warriors are going to overperform. They might not have that championship ceiling, but I think Steph is going to lead the Warriors to a very prominent record this season and leave the Warriors in position to be a contender in the Western Conference. Might not just have that championship level ceiling, though. But I want to hear from you guys. What do you think? Do you agree with me? Do you think it's going to be a massive year for Steph? Predict his stat line for the 2024-25 season down in the comments section. I'm trying to hear from Dub Nation. What do you guys think Steph's going to do this year? And that'll do it for today's edition of Golden State Warriors Today. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Never miss a beat on your Golden State Warriors, whether it's a small quotes that come out like this in the heat of September today or a massive piece of Warriors news. We're going to cover all of it here at the channel, so make sure you're subscribed. YouTube.com/WarriorsTV. We'll see you in the next one. Let's go Dubs.